What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, we're not alone on the channel, guys. We have Final Kempashi here for the very first time on the channel. And make sure you guys head over to his channel. We've recorded a different video. They're talking about all of the Hydra drama and everything else related to that topic, which is just driving me nuts for the last few days. And make sure you guys check out his channel. But in the meantime, before we're even going to announce our topic here, which is why are whales queering raid and why is the endgame content pretty stale at the moment. What's up, Kempashi? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for inviting me, man.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I feel like it's been a long time and we've actually never had a collab. So yeah, time to get one kicking, guys. So basically, the main topic, guys, is whales are queering, and this is not something that I decided to just kind of like make up or anything. I feel like for the last 1 month and a bit since they've initially announced those changes, so many whales are queering, and I've probably lost around, I don't know, I don't think I'm exaggerating, but probably in the last 1 month we lost around 10 clan members from our 2 clans, which is crazy, right? 10 in a go, which are quitting, are not moving clans, they're just quitting, right? Some of them being some of the biggest krakens in the game. I'm talking about people that spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in the game. A lot of free-to-play players are quitting as well because I guess they had enough. They're just not doing they're not getting the fun that they wanted from the game. They're not progressing as they should and stuff. But I feel like one of the main things is the endgame content being stale. And yes, they've introduced a lot of content. I'm not complaining that we don't have content because we have tons and tons of content. When I started playing this game, they had no events, they had no tournaments, they only had clan boss and dungeons. Nothing else, okay? So we have tons and tons of content now. The main idea is there's nothing that people really want to follow, really want to grind in the endgame. And I feel like that's one of the main issues. And now with the Hydra changes, that being one of the last places where players were basically looking to either flex their scores, to improve their teams, to kind of like put up bigger numbers, and they were finding some form of excitement, is not there anymore, right? And I really think most of the game modes have issues from tons of different perspectives. But what do you think about the whole thing, Kempashi?
I mean, the things about whale, why the whale is quitting?
Or yeah, just everything in general,
okay.
You know, like the game modes, the end game, the whale queering, you know, like how does it feel, you know?
I mean, first of all, like you mentioned, I also played in this game very long time, and I remember the back in the day, guys, like the game doesn't have anything, you know, like Faction War doesn't even have a Lydia as a reward, and all day we was begging for the give us content, give us content, and give us content. And now, even we don't want more content, we have lots of content. The problem is contents are empty. Like they are biggest problem on this game. I find it myself. They are releasing new content. Alright, that's good, but they are leaving this content alone. Like Tag Team Arena, for example. They released it and they did nothing about it. Same for the live arena, no adjustment. Like, you know, like releasing new content, I believe it's easier harder than the adjust the existence content, right? Market, lots of the player are talking about it as well. And I wish Plarium is little bit consider to add more stuff on the existence content than releasing more content. I'm not disagree to releasing more content, but the current existence content, like you mentioned, the dungeon, there is no point to farm the dungeon, guys. I'm only doing the dungeon if there is like some juicy tournament, which is usually doesn't. Usually when they do like maybe turn attack, it usually have some solid reward, you know, so I don't mind to do that. Besides this, only for the fusion. The only reason I'm doing any dungeon there, besides the Sun Devil or the Phantom Shogun, is literally just for the fusion.
I definitely feel you. And by the way, guys, yes, you know me. I am quite a bit of a whale. Kempashi here, he's completely the opposite. He's been playing the game for a very long time. And I actually asked him, bro, are you fully free to play? And he was like, I spent $14 in my entire raid career. And
not
this
monthly,
is not, yeah, not monthly, just the entire career. And this is not something that is affecting whales. It's just kind of like in general the whole state of the game. And players are quitting every day. It's not something that's new, right? But right now is a much bigger influx of players quitting, and there are tons of different little reasons affecting these decisions. And of course, the big elephant in the room, which is the Hydra changes. But as Kenpachi mentioned as well, there is no point to farm dungeons in the endgame. Now, when you're progressing, you're in a completely different boat. You're going to want to farm dungeons non-stop, right? But I'm talking here more about endgame and kind of like how it feels to be in the endgame, right? So you guys know once you're going to reach the endgame, what's basically waiting for you there. There is not much of a desire to farm dungeons. There's so many other better sets that are not coming from dungeons, right? So I feel like their approach to change this was introducing the new dungeon with a new gear set that's limited time, so people cannot farm it non-stop, and whenever it comes back, it creates that FOMO, and people are quickly jumping on to farm it, and it worked, okay? It worked for them. They've definitely sucked in a lot of money with this dungeon, especially that they increased the price for energy, and they haven't increased the price. They just removed all of the good packs, and they just offered you the bad packs that were always considered bad, basically, right? So in a way, yes, they increased the price for energy. Then, of course, you have the Sand Devils, the Shogun, which will require you to farm them pretty much forever. It's something that will not disappear considering the rates as they are right now. And you're always going to get new gear that you're looking to improve, basically, right? So Ascension, maybe you're going to have to re-roll it, etc. So these dungeons are basically the only dungeons worth farming. The other dungeons worth farming are non-existent in the endgame. It's still good to get Savage, but you don't really want to waste energy on all of these dungeons, the OG dungeons, right? Because you get Lethal from Doom Tower, you get Merciless from there, you get Slayer from the Forge Pass, who knows what other sets they will bring in pretty soon, right? If they're bringing in new content or whatever they might add in there as well. All of the good gear sets, they tend to be locked behind clan activities, like you have the Hydra Clash, you have the Siege mode, etc. So this makes most of this content from this section right here, the dungeons, irrelevant, right? Do you agree with this?
Yes, I agree. And one of the main reason we cannot keep the existence, farmable, like you mentioned Savage Gear. Savage Gear is not bad, right?
It's
But
good,
we
it's
have a
amazing,
Merciless.
but you
We
have
have a
better
little
ones.
set. But here's the thing, guys. We don't have unlimited space on the inventory. We only have a 1,500 space, and this space eventually going to be full with the better gear set than the Savage. So end of the day, I pretty much selling every normal dungeon gear unless like there's some still little bit special one, like reflex gear, provoke set, maybe stun set. But I don't have too much copy of them. I just like have two set enough for the champion. Then I'm selling the rest of them, like because we don't have a space. And same for the Savage gear, unfortunately. If whenever I got like better version of them on the better set, I just have to sell the old ones, and because the reason is I don't have a space. We don't have a space.
I feel you. And I feel like just changing to hard mode, right, to the dungeons, yes, it made us busy for a little bit to change the teams, but the drop rates are so bad that you just don't want to invest tons of energy to farm the same dungeons just to get silver. So I feel like this is one of the main things that kind of makes people feel bored, at least when we're talking about the dungeons. Then when we're moving to Faction Wars, guys, Faction Wars has been added to the game, has been left like that since forever. You go on stage 21 to farm it every single day. It gets boring. You're getting the materials for the forge, which are amazing, but then you're getting 4-star glyphs every single freaking time, right? 90% of the times you're going to get 4-star glyphs. There's nothing exciting about doing your Faction Wars unless you're still progressing and you're trying to get Lydia, but once you're done with that, you're going to be like, well, that's it, and the majority of the endgame players got Lydia years ago, right? So it's nothing exciting anymore after so much time of just farming Faction Wars daily. Now, they promised that they are working on improving this game mode or adding something on top of it, which is actually good, right? That's good news. Arena, yes, we have Classic Arena, which has been left the same since forever. Now, one of the main things that always kept Wales at bay at playing Raid Shadow Legends was Platinum Arena, and that's since the very beginning. Now, the problem there as well, it had many issues, many flaws. It still has many flaws. They don't even have a freaking leaderboard to show you at the end of reset who ranked in top 100, in top 500. It's not even hard to make a leaderboard, but they cannot be bothered to basically allocate the resources 1 hour to the guy that's coding to create a leaderboard for Platinum Arena. And
Can I cut you really bit?
yeah, go
I'm
on.
sorry. Like, it's still like crazy how people taking this game PvP mode so seriously. We still don't have a proper battle log. Like, I don't know, you want to show your battle log right now, but battle log doesn't give us any
Details.
information.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. Like, how did you lose this fight? How did you win this? Like, is 3% happen? What happened? Swift periproc. Like, what just happened? You make enemy ship or they make you ship. Just give us a replay button. Like, almost like I actually play in a different mobile game as well, guys. And like there is a mobile game have like 500 server. I don't know why. And each server has like 5 active player. Even they have this feature. Like even like very small mobile game have this feature, and it's still crazy, especially after the siege mode. This little bit become a
You
more
need
like
it. It's so important.
we need it. We need it. Like we need to get some information or better look so we can improve our team. Like we need to understand how we won or how did we lose. Sorry to interrupt you. You can continue.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I totally agree with it. And that's a very, very good point that we have absolutely zero information right here of what's happening, right? And another thing is as well, the leaderboard, man, like, it's not hard to make it. It's important to be in there. You have a leaderboard for the Doom Tower. Who the heck looks at the leaderboard for the Doom Tower? Nobody. Who looks at the leaderboard for the Curse City? Nobody. But this resets every week. This is the most competitive thing that they have in the game in terms of PvP. But they don't have a leaderboard for it. So this is not what makes people quit, by the way. But this adds on top of the other issues. It's not blind arena. It's all about clans and stuff, even for Arena 2. And that's something that they've always kind of like cultivated together. Then you have Tag Team Arena. They released it. We've gave them feedback in the beta. So this had a beta where people had a test server, players, and they got some rewards for participating in that to give feedback. Everybody gave feedback that this is a trash game mode. It should not be released as it is. You know what's changed in the last 4 years since we have this in the game? Nothing. Nothing. Actually, something changed. You got a 50,000 gold bars avatar frame. Okay? That's what changed. And why? Because they don't want to invest anything in it. They could make this game mode so much better. I know some people enjoy it, but you're in minority. Then they released Live Arena. They haven't really done much to it either, okay? They are slowly changing things. There's a lot of room for improvement right here, and I feel like this could be the pinnacle of their PvP game modes if they are working on it. Make seasons. Who gives a damn that this guy right here spends non-stop playing Live Arena? He has 4 or 5 drivers playing his account, and he managed to do 12,000 fights or so. I'm talking about in general, nothing against any of these guys because I actually know them and stuff. But why we don't have a seasonal reset? Why is this Live Arena not resetting monthly and people get to climb again? You don't need to derank your tiers. You can still stay in the same tier where you were, but climb back on the leaderboard. Give us some rewards, create an incentive for players to try and push this leaderboard, to try and do Live Arena fights rather than, well, we gave you the Great Hall, we forced you to do it. That's about it. Yes, they introduced this Live Arena daily wins, which is a nice touch. You're not getting much from it, but it's better than what we had before, which was nothing. So I feel like this game mode requires a lot of things as well. Friendly battles, seasonal rewards, seasonal resets, handicaps. They need to do something to constantly change the meta. You know, if you're using Armans, get a freaking handicap on your team. If you're using only mythical champions, get another handicap. If you're using champions from the same faction, gain a bonus. Do something to basically play around with the meta. You only need to dedicate one person that's good at PvP to give, to constantly give ideas. And once you've implemented the system, it's much easier to find different things to do, basically, you know. But there's a lot of room for improvement. We could probably go and talk about Arena all day long. How is your experience with Arena? As you're not a whale or anything like that. I know you're in Gold 5 because we actually
Gold
fought
4.
a couple of times. Yeah,
I
Gold 4. I
actually
was
fighted the
literally gonna correct
Cartman.
myself. Yeah,
Yeah, I actually fight the Cartman this morning, was fun.
you
I'm
did. It was fun,
5.8,
huh?
so yeah, it's like
Tons
10
of fun.
seconds. So,
Yeah, but I feel.
so
Go on. Sorry.
yeah. Uh, one of the person love tag team arena. I actually forced to be used different champion against the enemies because I don't have a many good dupe champion, right, guys? So I have to try like different team and to try to use them against their weakness, because every team has a weakness, guys. Almost every team has a counter. Obviously, some team has a hard counter, but still, end of the day, you can counter them. And I personally love Tag Team Arena, and I was a very great advice to Polarium maybe a year ago. Tag Team Arena already a ready system, right? It's already ready. Like, you don't have to do anything. We have a bazaar, and bro, I have like almost 250k gold bar right now, and I cannot purchase anything on the bazaar because everything on the cooldown. So the thing they can do after they release Tag Team Arena, which is very long time ago, guys. So now we have an Iron Team, right? We can get some Iron Team material there. And we have a Sun Devil Phantom Shogun. Why don't you bring their material on the bazaar as well? So we can also purchase this kind of stuff. Like maybe mythical book. There's a legendary book. Maybe give us a mythical book. Maybe give us a dust that we can get from the Sun Devil. Yes, they actually do that on the clan shop, which is but Tag Team Arena, what you gonna do on the Tag Team Arena? About the live arena, I totally agree with you. Actually, my clanmate create a very fun how to say that wheel, which is Plarium also got some idea recently about that. So basically, guys, my clanmate make a wheel system, and he put some faction names on it. So when we face each other on the clanmate or the people on the stream, we are using this wheel system. So we roll in the wheel, and let's say I got like Demon Spawn, right? So I have to place a Demon Spawn champion. So then I'm rolling this for my friends, when we face each other. And it's, to be honest, it's quite a fun, because not all the time you are getting a barbarian faction, so you cannot use the armas, right? They can literally put this thing on the in-game. It's not hard thing to do that for them, And maybe if people not gonna be happy about that, maybe it can be bad for the early game because they don't have a big roster. Maybe you can split the live arena two part, live arena season system or the classic live arena. Like you can also do something like that, which is this online game, guys. Like season system is a lot for them because almost every online game has a season system, and this is kind of stuff to keep the game alive, not to forge base. I'm sorry. And the other thing you mentioned, I still cannot believe this game doesn't have a friend system. Like it's also the another thing this game missing. Let us just fight with our friend. Let us just test it. You don't have to give us anything. Like don't give us any material. Don't. Let us just friendly fight it. Like how
Yeah,
hard
but
it can be.
the thing is, if they do friendly fights, well, then why would people need to do any of the other game modes? Why would they be interested to play Arena when they can just fight their friends and have fun at no cost? You know what I mean? So that's one of the main reasons why they're not doing it. I can already tell you that because we've been asking this for the last 4 or 5 years, right? And when we're talking about clan bosses, because I feel like we have a couple of more sections. The Demon Lord, right? A lot of you guys are trying to progress to get your Ultra Nightmare chest. Once you've done that, you're done. The clan boss has absolutely no incentive whatsoever for any of us to improve the teams. Now, before Hydra, the clan boss used to be one of the other flexes for whales and stuff, and just in general for players, make a better team, deal more damage than anyone else, and show off, right? But that died ages ago. There's so many different teams right now. It used to be one of the best content to be watched on YouTube. I started my channel focusing on clan boss, for example, right? And I feel like right now, if I'll do a clan boss video, I'll probably get less views than if I'll put a video with dogs and cats. Honestly, that's how much the clan boss changed. And moving to the Hydra. Hydra got released, was pretty negative. Everybody felt that it's extremely hard, and it was. Okay, we found solutions, we found teams. People slowly started getting used to it. There's a lot of RNG in Hydra. It's not just throw in a team, do auto, get a damage, and call it a day. It actually has a more complex system than the clan boss, right? So it took a while for people to understand that, to get used to the whole idea of it, and to start enjoying it. Then, because of the Hydra Clash that got released, a lot of teams were too powerful or they were not performing well, which they're still staying the same. But the ones that they were too powerful, either they were left intact, like the Tranda team, either they got basically nerfed. And the problem is that they completely changed the Hydra to a point where they sucked out all of the fun from it. Endgame players do not want to do it anymore. They just want to let it on auto and forget about it. They don't care about the clash as much. Some people, they're still trying to do their keys. Some people, they just gave up on it. And this used to be the other flex place where people used to make their damage as crazy as possible. And the problem is not that it's just the Tranda team. If they were fixing Tranda as they're supposed to and leave the Hydra intact, a lot of players were still able to push in a lot of different teams, try to find better results, and still do their magic of flexing, right? And that was still keeping the players engaged. But because they sucked all of the fun out of it, those people don't want to do it now, okay? And those people are slowly just throwing the towel. And probably you guys have tens of different players quitting from your clans, right? You have every single day or every single week a new person saying like, I'm done, there's nothing left for me, right? And I feel like all of these things just build up to that moment. What's your take on the Hydra changes, though? Because I know we talked about it on your channel, but
yes,
give them a sample here.
I mean, the biggest problem I think the thing they created, people don't trust them anymore. You know, like let's say
exactly
they really say very strong champion, right? And Iesu, right? Shadowkin champion and stuff like that. I mean, after the recent changes like killing the Eli Attack multi-hitter Theox, for example, gonna get affected a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they are like, well, what's the point of the getting them? I think they are gonna do something on the Hydra and they are gonna be useless again, right?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the reason that they buff the Hydra is nerfing the Tranda, actually, guys. This is their word, not our word. And Tranda still, I actually see some key on your clanmates. Still number one. Like, how is that possible? Like, aren't they are testing the stuff before releasing? Like, this is what people are asking. Like, Plarium need to be more careful about the bug fixes, you know, like rebalance stuff like that before they announce it, before they release it, because end of the day, this person, Ceteis, is got 7 billion damage because of the Tranda, not because of like Theox or any other champion.
Yeah, exactly. So the changes were implemented to stop Tranda. That's 100% sure. We know it. I've always said it as well, because that's why they've put 100% damage reduction. Clearly, that's not the case. Tranda is still the GOAT, and I get people being pissed off with the whole situation. And as you mentioned, is an issue of trust. People spend money on champions. People invest resources in champions that they get free to play, and they just get killed. They're not what they used to be. It doesn't matter if they can still be used. That's not the point. The point is that you have a champion for months in the game. You're advertising that champion as a Hydra superstar, and then after you're selling that champion, you're changing the Hydra, so that champion is not a Hydra superstar anymore. He's barely a champion that deals decent damage in Hydra. So people have no trust in Plarium, okay? And I feel like that's one of the major things with spenders. The reason why they are, I had enough, I'm not gonna spend, I'm quitting. And they're gonna release probably this year the new clan boss, the Great Void. Who knows what that will be? Most likely, it might happen this month or the beginning of December, I think. I'm kind of like 99% sure that that's the big content that they're working on. And it might be the same like Hydra as it was released. Painful. Who knows? I cannot really discuss much about it because I have no idea. The Doom Tower was fun. I feel like out of all of the content that they've released, the Doom Tower and Faction Wars was the best content in the entire game. Tons of different strategies, tons of different bosses, very good rewards. People love doing the Doom Tower because of the rewards. The thing is, once you're done with it, it becomes a chore. Unless we have the Dark Fey rotation. That's the only rotation where I'm doing the secret rooms, because I've already collected the champions, right? If that was not the case, I was still going to do the secret rooms, of course. But that's the only rotation where I'm doing the secret rooms, and that's during the Dark Fey. To try and get more little gear. Probably everybody else is in the same boat. But the other rotations are just there for the reward. So I'm gonna go in, click auto, don't look at it, do not give a damn to improve anything. I do not want to improve anything because having a leaderboard right here and not having a leaderboard for Arena is the dumbest thing that they've done, okay? Who gives a damn about the Doom Tower leaderboard? I honestly have no idea if anybody gives a damn about it. But maybe there are people that give a damn about it, and it's good that they have it. But they should have one for Arena as well, you know? And they've confirmed this game mode is done, is a complete game mode, no plans to change anything whatsoever. Then Cursiri, what's your take on the Cursiri? Because you have a less stacked account, for example.
Yeah, can't say I 100% complete every rotation, but since they released it, I think I 100% complete like maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times. I personally find this limitation, that kind of stuff, is good for me. You know, I love challenge, and even I have to build some stupid champion to work on this challenge. I love the curse there. As a reward wise, merciless gear actually very very strong, guys, and we
It
can
is not
get
5-star.
yeah, actually true. Yeah, this is the another biggest problem on this game. Like, let's say Heart Dungeon 10, we still getting 5-star rare from it. Like, let's say in the future they are gonna release Heart Stage 20. I am 100% sure there is still gonna be 5-star.
Oh, yeah.
This game just love 5-star. Like, I don't really understand why the super endgame content we still getting 5-star. Like, even the main boss, give you a bunch of 5-star. I think you can get maximum 2. If you like a 3-6-star, that's all about it. Like, it's just like not fun. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, after you put lots of the effort, this very hard content, same for the Hydra Clash chest. And end of the day, it's just give you 5-star gear, and I just not big fan of it.
Yeah, totally agree, bro. Like, I cannot say that this content is absolute because people will still do this. Is worth doing. The Curse City, to be honest, is not fun. Initially, I love the idea of having all these restrictions on champions because it just makes useless champions useful now, you know? And that was fun because you're gonna have to fight with different teams, different champions. It does require a lot of work and stuff, but was overall a good idea. For implementation, yes. 5-star gear everywhere, yes. The rest of the rewards are good though. So this is one of the game modes that yeah, I would 100% try to beat today. I'm not having fun. Sometimes I am going on the Cintranos and take 10, 15 tries to do a stage like this one right here. Will take me a little bit. Thankfully, I have Morag at 6-star, which will absolutely destroy Tarasis and Marichka and everybody else. So probably still gonna take me a few tries. But it's all about a stun, and that's not fun about the whole game mode. And then we have Siege Man.
Especially,
Go on,
sorry to
sorry.
cut you.
Go on.
Especially after you got a Carnage, and if you look to the cursed chest, you can get it. It's not that rewarding, guys. I'm
No.
sorry, but like there is an epic book. Like, guys, there is an epic book.
Yeah, epic book and 4-star chickens. You don't want to see these
Yeah.
rewards in the most
No.
endgame content. You know, like
Exactly.
they don't want to put shards. It's fine. Just put the medium soulstone in here. I hate it that they don't give medium soulstones. They give these small ones everywhere, but no medium. Same with Hydra. Why not make a new difficulty for Hydra clan boss? Add some better rewards, but they don't make a new difficulty because they need to add better rewards. So that's that's the answer to my question right there. Then we have the siege mode, the final thing, guys, because I feel like we've been going on for way too long. This sounded amazing. Honestly, I feel like this was their biggest flop. So many things implemented bad in this game mode. Wow. Okay, like even now there are things that I don't even think they've acknowledged. I've made a video. I've mentioned it in a video. I tagged them to check out the video. I even gave them the timestamp. Just listen from this minute to this minute so you understand that's an issue. I don't think they've watched it because they never replied back to me. But either way, this game mode has so many flaws right now. But overall, was fun. And I do want to give them props that they acted and removed the 5-star gear from here. So that was one of their biggest things that they've done this year in terms of listening to the community with the siege mode. Removing the 5-star gear from here, adjusting some of the changes. And I know they can do it. I know they can listen to the community when they want to. And they don't need to listen to everything because listening to everything is bad for the game. Because not every dumb idea needs to be implemented. The game still needs to be challenging in some form and stuff. But I feel like every now and then, just throwing a bone and actually understanding that that's an issue, especially with the Hydra, will overall be better for the entire player base. But that's pretty much everything from my side. Talking about why the end game is stale, why players are quitting. At least that's my opinion. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And Kempashi, was a pleasure to have you on the channel, bro.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a very fun to talk with you. Hopefully you guys also enjoy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Don't forget to check out his channel, guys. The video will be linked in the pinned comment as usual. Appreciate all of you guys watching. And yes, unfortunately, a few negative videos every now and then, guys. That's the situation. That's basically the reality. I don't like to put up a clown face and act up in here, be all super excited because everything's perfect when it's not. You know, I'm a very straight to the point person, very direct, and yeah, that's how I feel at the moment, and I feel like a lot of people are feeling like this as well. But either way, much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.